Hello, my name is Jamie Nasal, and today we'll be having a session on French vowels and the pronunciation and French nasal sounds and difficult sounds to pronounce in French that a lot of people take for granted. They don't really try to pronounce. So the vowels in French look the same as ours in English, but they're pronounced differently, and we're going to start with the vowels and pronouncing them. So the A in French is pronounced bright and open. Ah, ah, ah. And the E in French is pronounced E, E, E. It's kind of like you take your ah, and you bring it up and push it forward a little bit. So it's it's kind of back here. It's relaxed. And the E, or the I in French is E, E. And the O in French is a very round and closed O, O. And the U in French is pronounced, it's kind of a harder sound for English speakers because it's not in English, but it's pronounced U, U. It's kind of really forward, and you put your tongue up and you close it with the back of your tongue, and you just let a little air through. U, U. And so that's one of the harder sounds in French is the U, U. And the other hard sound that's not a vowel but a consonant is the R, which is equally hard for French people to say in English, which is like so they sound like a pirate. But in French it's guttural R, and it's in the back of the throat. So it's kind of like you're itching your throat if you ever have done that. Or like gargling water, except you don't let it vibrate as much. So you pass air through the back of your throat and put your tongue back a little bit, so it makes it a little harder, so it makes it sound like you put your tongue up and block it a little bit. And that's the R, R. And now we're going to get into the nasal sounds of French, which is often hard for English speakers, and they usually just ignore them because they don't feel like it's important. But if you really want to be a good speaker, if you really want to sound authentic, then you should focus and concentrate on the sounds and the different sounds in French and forget your sounds in English when you're speaking French. So first we're going to start with the A in. We're going to start with the A in. And in French, that's not pronounced on. You don't pronounce the N in French. You just pronounce those two letters, A and N. A and N. They're pronounced on. It's like you take the A and you put a little nasal on it, like And then words such as sans, which means without. And then the next nasal sound is en, and that's basically like an, except it's a little more closed. So instead of it's en. So it's like closed, like in the word vendeur. So it's not vendeur, like if it was a, and it's a little close, it's vendeur. The next nasal sound is on, which is on. It's really round and nasal, very French. And I use the verb monter, to climb or to go up something or just to go up. to climb the stairs, to go up, to get on something. Monter. Or just like mine, my something is mon. So and the next, I put this one last because it's one of the harder ones. Even my good French speakers don't usually, friends that are learning French don't usually get. They sometimes forget, and it's the in, which is really hard because usually just this in English we say in, so we kind of say and like we don't really know because it's not often taught, but it's actually more of a and it's in one of the French people's favorite words, incroyable. Incroyable meaning incredible, or and in and or any of the nasal sounds, the a, an n or an m make it nasal. So if it's am or an, en or am, on or om, in or im, it makes it nasal. So in words like in with incroyable, or im, for example, is words like impossible, or impossible, if I do it slower. Another thing that I wanted to focus on was that a lot of people don't get in English, because when we speak we have syllables, but we put emphasis on one syllable and do the other syllable really fast, and so we accent one syllable. But in French it's different. They give each syllable its full value. Like I use the example, in English we say comfortable, comfortable, comfortable. We say comfortable. We say blibble, fast, faster than comfortable, comfortable. But in French they say, it's the same word, but they say confortable, confortable. And see that it's C-O-M, it makes it a con, because it's the O-N or O-M sound, so it's on, so it's confortable. And lastly, I wanted to focus a little on a more advanced issue of the E sound, which is an E with an accent aigu, which is an accent that goes from the left to the right on like usually an E or sometimes other letters, but usually the E is the most common, and it's in like the ER also makes the same sound, and foreigners often pronounce it too relaxed, and it's a very slim and tight sound. It's not like, for example, I used the verb before, monter, monter. It's not monter, monter, monter. It's monter. It's almost an I, like it's almost an E. It's so slim. It's like a, like it's a, monter. That was one of the things I got in with when I was learning advanced pronunciation, that I often messed up, so my teacher would keep correcting me. Yeah, these are hard things, and that's my first little video on more advanced French techniques and learning their vowels and their correct pronunciation that a lot of people have done. So I will put on some other videos helping you learn French. So, see ya.